morning, sir. Today I will be presenting insights from four important research papers that examine internationalization in higher education from different angles. Together, these papers helps us understand what internationalization is, how it has evolved, and what challenges it brings, and why universities pursue it. The first paper explains the benefits and risks, showing how internationalization improves academic quality and global awareness, but also creates dangers like commercialization and loss of cultural identity. The second paper looks at the past and the future, showing how internationalization has grown from small exchange programs into a major global strategy shaped by politics and global research networks. The third paper provides a critical review, highlighting the Western dominance, competition, and the tension between revenue driven internationalization and more inclusive curriculum based approaches. And the fourth paper explores the motivations and realities, showing that while internationalization expands opportunities, it also creates inequalities and quality assurance challenges. Together, these four papers gives us complete picture of the promise, the complexity, and the responsibility involved in making higher education truly international or truly global. So the first paper, Internationalization of Higher Education, Potential Benefits and Costs, and focuses on understanding both the negative and positive sides of internationalization in higher education. It explains that the internationalization as a term means adding international and intercultural elements to the university teaching, research, and services. This process has grown rapidly because of globalization, easier mobility, and the increasing need for global collaboration in education. The benefits described in the paper are very significant. Internationalization can improve the overall quality of education by opening doors to global knowledge, research partnerships, and new teaching approaches. Students gain exposure to different cultures, develop open mindedness, and learn to interact with people from diverse backgrounds. This helps them build important soft skills like communication, adaptability, and cultural awareness. Universities, especially in developing countries, benefit by getting access to resources, expertise, and academic networks from all over the world. However, the paper also highlights the internationalization comes with serious risks. One of the biggest problems is commercialization. Many institutions see international students as a source of income and focus more on profit than on education quality. Another concern is academic colonization, where powerful Western universities dominate the educational landscape of developing nations, influencing their values, systems, and priorities. This can lead to loss of cultural identity and create a uniform Western style curriculum everywhere. Uh, Quality assurance is also a major challenge. The rise of unregulated foreign programs, branches, and degree mills puts students at risk. Without proper monitoring, it becomes difficult to ensure the international programs maintain high academic standards. The paper concludes by saying that internationalization must be carefully managed so that the benefits outweigh the risks and the strong policies are needed to maintain fairness and quality. Moving on, we have our second paper, which is Internationalization in Higher Education, Past and Future. It looks at how internationalization has changed over the last 25 years and what direction it may take in the future. It begins by explaining that internationalization used to be a small activity in the 1990s, mostly involving student exchanges, foreign scholarships, and development projects. But today, it has become a core strategic priority for universities around the world. The author explains that the meaning of internationalization has expanded tremendously. It now includes global ranking, branding strategies, cross-border degree programs, international brand campuses, joint degrees, MWCs, and global citizenship initiatives. This huge expansion shows how deeply higher education has become connected to global trends and competition. The paper highlights new challenges, especially in the rise of nationalism and anti immigration sentiments in many countries. These political trends can slow down or even reverse progress in international education. Internationalization has often become disconnected from local needs because universities may focus more on global visibility than on the real benefit to students and communities. Another major insight is growing importance of international research collaboration. Today, research teams are often global and academic knowledge has become a form of soft power. Countries and universities compete for influence through research output, partnership, and talent mobility. The authors argue that this competitive environment sometimes replaces traditional cooperation. To address this, they propose the idea of knowledge diplomacy, which means using knowledge exchange as a tool for mutual benefit rather than dominance. The paper ends with an important reflection. Although many universities talk about comprehensive internationalization, most still operate with fragmented, disconnected activities. For internationalization to be meaningful in the future, it must be globally connected but also locally relevant, value driven, and ethically responsible. Moving on to the third paper, Internationalization in Higher Education, a critical review, provides a critical analysis of internationalization, pointing out challenges that are often overlooked. One of the strong arguments in this paper is that internationalization is often dominated by Western ideas, models, and English speaking countries. Many developing nations end up adopting these Western frameworks without considering whether they suit their local context or educational goals. The paper also connects internationalization to global trends like massification of higher education, global competition for skilled workers, uh, and the rising influence of research universities. Rankings play a powerful role in shaping how universities behave. Institutions chase high positions in global ranking, and this pushes them to recruit more international students, publish more international research, and present a global identity, sometimes only for prestige. The author identifies two different models of internationalization. The first is the neoliberal model, focuses on which focuses on the short-term goals such as revenue generation, student mobility, and competition. This model currently is the most dominant in the world. The second is the inclusive educational model, which aims for a long-term goals like improving curriculum quality, making global learning accessible to all students, and promoting equity. Unfortunately, this approach receives less attention. Another major concept discussed is internationalization at home. Uh, instead of instead of sending students abroad, this idea focuses on bringing the global perspectives into local classrooms so all students benefit, not just those who can afford to travel. However, the paper notes that this approach is still underdeveloped and often treated as secondary. Overall, this paper argues that internationalization should be intelligent, meaning it should be thoughtful, ethical, and aligned with social responsibility. It should benefit all students and support the mission of education, not just serve competition or financial motives. Finally, the fourth paper, which talks about motivation and realities, explains why institutions pursue internationalization and what actually happens in practice. It starts by distinguishing globalization from internationalization. Globalization describes large scale global forces, while internationalization refers to how institutions respond to these forces. The paper identifies several motivations behind internationalization. One major factor is profit. Universities, especially in Western countries, earn large amount of revenue from international students. Another motivation is demand absorption. Many developing countries do not have enough higher education capacity, so students rely heavily on foreign programs, branch campuses, and online degrees. Their third motivation is curriculum enhancement. By introducing global perspectives, universities hope to graduate students who are better prepared for international careers. The paper also gives a detailed picture of boom in the cross-border education. Universities are expanding overseas through branch campuses, franchised degrees, and partnerships. This has become especially common in Asia, the Middle East, and Africa. While this growth increases access to education, it also raises concerns about dependence on foreign providers. A key argument in the paper is that the benefits of internationalization are often unequal. Wealthy institutions gain most of the financial and academic advantages, while developing countries may face challenges such as brain drain and cultural influence. One of the biggest dangers discussed is quality assurance. Because cross-border education is expanding so fast, so many countries do not have the system needed to actually like monitor or evaluate foreign providers. This leads to the rise of degree mills and low quality programs that exploit students. The paper concludes by reminding us that internationalization is not automatically positive. It must be guided by strong regulations, ethical principles, and focus on a long term educational value. Finally, to conclude, these papers show that internationalization in higher education brings great opportunities, better learning, global exposure, stronger research, and wider access. They also highlight important risks such as commercialization, unequal benefits, cultural loss, and weak quality control. Across all the papers, one message is consistent. Internationalization must be guided by ethical practices, cultural respect, and mutual benefit, not just profit and competition. When done responsibly, it can make higher education more inclusive, globally connected, and meaningful for students and societies around the world. So thank you, sirs, for listening. So thank you all for listening to the key insights of internationalization in higher education. And I wish you guys, I wish you teachers have a great day. Thank you.